Did you know that leadership and management are two different things? Well, some mistake it as the same. Leaders and managers should perform different tasks and possess some very distinct skills too. So, let's learn the significant difference between the most used terms, i.e., leadership and management. In this video, you'll learn how to correct communication is the key to success in leadership and management. Keep watching this video till the end to learn some fantastic facts about both of these, and before we move forward, do not forget to press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates about our channel. Let's see what the most fundamental difference between leadership and management is. If you're one of those who always thought of them as the same thing, here are some simple definitions for you. It is indeed true that management and leadership have complementary roles. This may be the case, but these two terms don't have the same meaning and shouldn't be used in the same sentence. Both imply a distinct collection of characteristics, abilities, and skills that are similar. The major difference between the two is that people follow the leaders in leadership, but managers have people who work for them. A thriving business owner must have leadership and management qualities because this is the only way to get his team on board. With good management and perfect leadership, he can take his team toward his vision of success. While management is primarily about handling and ensuring the day-to-day operations are running well, leadership inspires others to understand and share your vision and work with you to achieve your goals. Leadership is all about motivating people to believe in your vision, the vision that you have for the company. If we look back at the past few years, entrepreneurs, innovators, and leaders created companies while managers were appointed to run their businesses. However, the tables have turned, and things are not the same anymore. Let's first look at leadership and management individually. What is leadership? Leadership is the purposeful planning, visioning, and strategy-driven production of positive, non-incremental change. Adaptive decision-making and employee empowerment are two more critical qualities of a leader. People most frequently associate leadership with one's place in an organization. However, leadership has nothing to do with management, titles, or personal objectives. Additionally, it is not just limited to personality attributes like charisma or better vision. Why do you think people start following leaders? It is more related to a social influence mechanism that maximizes everyone's efforts in pursuing a common objective. It has its roots in social influence and needs human resources to produce the desired results. A leader consistently takes the lead and makes a significant effort to realize the company's vision. What is management? Everything in management revolves around regularly carrying out pre-planned duties with the assistance of subordinates. The four crucial management tasks under a manager's full scope are planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Only when managers effectively carry out the duties of leadership, such as communicating both the good and the bad, offering encouragement and direction, and motivating staff to increase productivity, can they advance to the position of leader. But sadly, not all managers can accomplish that. Because of the professional title or classification, managerial tasks are commonly described in a job description, with subordinates having to follow. Meeting organizational goals is a manager's priority. They frequently pay little attention to other factors. With the title comes the power and privilege to hire, promote, or reward staff members based on their behavior and performance. The function of managers and leaders in an organization has gained more significance since the pandemic's beginning. Work performed remotely or in a hybrid setting can improve employee satisfaction and engagement, making it more difficult to influence others. Let's have a look at some significant differences between managers and leaders. Leaders set the vision, managers execute it. It is clear that managers are also working under the leaders. Therefore, leadership supersedes management. Managers and leaders have different roles to perform when it comes to implementing a mission or vision of a company. So, now you must have understood that leaders are the thinkers, the visionaries. They know where they want their company to be in the future, but to make it reach there, they need proper management. This is where managers enter the frame. While it may be the responsibility of leaders to effectively communicate the company's mission, vision, and goals to the entire workforce, managers ensure that staff members remain committed to these values and objectives. Leadership brings in ideas, and management works to implement them. While a managerial culture lays a stronger focus on reason and control, leaders are more focused on finding ways to enhance the organization as a whole. They often do this by bringing in fresh ideas to boost the credibility of their organization. Whereas managers are always busy trying to fix something or finding answers to how and when. In light of this, the manager's primary function is to carry out their duties in accordance with the leader's vision. Their key responsibility is to make sure that those working on various functions with various responsibilities do it effectively, productively, and with a sense of voice. You can even check this by following a leader and manager for a few hours. And you'll soon understand their thing. If you've ever worked as a manager or under a manager, you might know how managers relate to people based on their participation in a decision-making process. In contrast, leaders are always worried about ideas as they relate to people on a high level but in empathetic ways. The main contrast is simply between a manager's focus on how things are accomplished and a leader's focus on what has to be done to produce better results. Leaders motivate, and managers ensure success. While leaders have a remarkable capacity for motivating others, managers are in charge of ensuring that employees have successful careers and rewarding workplaces. Since managers are responsible for over 70% of employees' involvement at work, they are also held responsible for the performance and output of their teams. Therefore, an organization or business needs to have an inspiring and influential leader, because if leadership fails to inspire, there is nothing managers can do to take the job forward. Through self-reflection, continuous feedback, and authentic communication, leaders must develop a style. A leader must be capable of empowering his team and grabbing his workers' attention instantly, because a leader with no power will certainly not bring any success to the organization. He ought to motivate them to pursue critical organizational initiatives. According to studies, when employees have the chance to interact with the leaders routinely, they feel less pressured and anxious. Moreover, leadership has a significant influence on employee engagement. Workplaces that encourage honest, open, and transparent communication have more productive employees. However, many businesses continue to undervalue the benefit of two-way communication between managers and employees. Leaders work for the future, while managers focus on the present. Good leaders always have an eye for the future. Whatever they do or think, their objective lies in the future. This is one of the most crucial differences between leaders and managers, as the former are future focuses while the latter focus on the present. The manager's primary responsibility is to execute processes and procedures related to staffing, organizational structure, and budgets to achieve organizational goals. On the other hand, leaders tend to look ahead and seize potential chances. Leadership's vision will have no value if it fails to be conveyed and communicated to the employees and managers. They must have a clear idea about the ideas processed by the leader. Think about it by yourself. How would you work if you won't know what you were working for? Thus, it is the leader's responsibility to communicate his thoughts to his team thoroughly. There might be occasions when management and leadership overlap, as if we talk about decision-making and problem-solving. It is both the leaders' and managers' responsibility. However, while leaders are responsible for making decisions at a higher level, i.e., for the whole organization, managers are solely responsible for the decision-making for their own team or department. Both leaders and managers must possess a particular set of skills that will help them succeed in their positions. Better leadership can be carried on with better communication, creativity, motivation, responsibility, and commitment. In contrast, a capable manager must possess problem-solving skills, commercial awareness, organization, interpersonal skills, strategic thinking, etc. So, we hope now you're never going to confuse yourself with these two terms. If you still have any questions about leadership and management, share them with us in the comments below, and we'll be happy to help. We'll be back with the following video, so till then, stay tuned.